harm their life. So I think with the big problem of the environment, the zoo is good for the animals. No, thank you. I begin with the definition with the first argument that I was talking about the environment, that it's we face the climate change, and we have for example the climate change can cause the melting ice, so the threat, the condition life of the panda, for example, and in the zoo we can find like all the condition life condition for the animals. And also, like I said, by the pollution that they have using the pesticide and chemicals and everything, like we have a lot of CO2. No, thank you. We have a lot of CO2, and so it's like harm the life of animal. And in the zoo, we can achieve for them a good condition of life. Second, it prevents extinction of animals. With the zoo, we can preserve the life cycle of the animals, and we forget something about the extension of animals, and a lot of species they are like now, like the lions, because of hunting in Africa, as we all know. So we should like preserve them, and also we like saving panda in China, because they are too rare to find them, so it's good to save them and prevent the extinction of animals. My third argument is save animals from being hunting from the hunter. And for example, if in Africa they go to hunt tiger for fur and using the animal for economical and beneficial side, like using the skin of them for producing like wool, like jackets and pants and everything. So they use in a bad way, and this contradiction with the first argument with them. It was the moral one. So the moral one, it should like protect them from the bad thing that affects all the animals. So we should reserve animals from all this bad effects and all this hunting and the bad danger of human that cause for the animals. So the zoo, it's a right place to live in, and also it's a good way to let all the people know about the animal. So they know about all the species in a different world. Sometimes, for example, in Lebanon we don't find like lion, and elephant. So we can see all of these things. So we can see all of these things, and also it helps to have a good condition and life cycle for all the animals in all the world. Also from I think zoo will be the better place to let all the animals live in. To let all the animals live in and prevent them from all the human danger and especially the environmental cause that we have like a limit date now to have a solution for the climate change. And I think the zoo is the best solution to let all the animals live safely we don't have a lot of problem faced and a lot of dangers with using a lot of bad stuff using by a lot of the industry, which affects all the people and especially we can say all the animals, because also they have the right to live like the human live. So also we should protect them from all these bad things and the hunting things that happen.
I would like to thank the first English speaker for his speech and call the second affirmative speaker.
I can if you want, yeah.
fellow colleagues, and distinguished guest. I will begin by giving a small introduction regarding the topic, regarding the motion. Then I will move on to rebuttaling all four arguments brought up by the opposition. Then I will go on to rebuild our four arguments. We've been going to the zoo since we were young. We know the zoo as some form of entertainment, some form of place, some sort of haven for people. Yet we never count or take into consideration the implications, morally, environmentally, and economically, of our going to a zoo. This is why this House supports the notion that zoos do more harm than good. The four arguments brought up by the opposition, I will begin by rebuttaling them one by one. First one was regarding climate change and how the world is facing climate change and zoos will help animals and protect them from not suffering from this climate change. Well, what the proposition has to say about this is that zoos actually induce a human-created climate change onto animals. You are changing the climate of these animals. You're taking an animal living in Africa, a warm, nice desert in Africa, to make them live in an industrial city like Los Angeles. This is climate change. This is the change of a climate, a change of a habitat. The other thing was regarding CO2 and emissions and all these things related to climate change. Well, CO2 is in the air. Whether it's in Los Angeles or in Africa, it's still there. You're not really protecting them from anything. The second argument was to prevent extinction. Little does the opposition know, zoos don't really let those animals reproduce because they have certain quotas imposed by the regulations of the zoos, and they work according to these quotas. They want to have a certain number of lions, a certain number of pandas, a certain number of whatever it is. They're not going to keep letting those animals reproduce because they're going to run out of space. They're not going to keep them there. The third argument was regarding protecting them from hunters. While we do believe that there are a lot of hunters, and while we do believe that we do not want those animals to be hunted, we also believe that zoos are not the way of dealing with this. We torture these animals in zoos. We put them in cages, 5-meter squared cages, rather than a free living forest. The other thing is that if we were to protect these animals, we could put them in natural reserves in their own countries, or we could impose regulations on hunters. We could put them in a nice natural reserve where we monitor who enters and who actually does anything in this reserve, but not move them all the